YouTube. Man, it has been way too long, way overdue since I've been on here. Just been taking some time off with trying to get this new shop open and, trying to just get life right and, gym life and all sorts of things. But we're back to it, man. Hopefully we can keep up with these once a week videos we've been doing. But anyways, to jump into this, as you can see, I already combed it out. And now we're just hitting it with the one open. Just trying to knock these waves down, trying to get these to pop without taking them too short. And you guys can see I'm being very cautious with it, making sure I'm going in the direction that his waves are. And you can see the back of his head, it's pretty flat around the crown area. So you're going to see when we do the fade, we are going to drop it a little. But right here, I'm just knocking down the crown area and making sure that we are going in every which direction that these waves are wanting to go. And this is very important because if you don't, you can definitely patch someone and they will have to start completely over, which you do not want. And now to get into this fade, we are going to start by putting our bald line in with our FX 3s, and we are going to be doing a mid drop fade with no C cups. As you can see, we started at the bottom of the vertical bar, and now we are just lightly dropping that guideline in the back, because if you can see right above right there, his head kind of sticks out further in the back, so we want to complement that shape and not just go straight across. And also, we are not trying to take away any waves that we don't need to. And now to debulk, we are going to start with the 2 open, and we are going to be going right up into the parietal of the head, right where the head wants to round off. And all we are doing is just trying to blend this 2 into the top that we had done. And if you can see, I'm not being too harsh with it. The clipper just kind of being light, Making sure we are combing everything back down into place, because when you are cutting coarse hair, the hair tends to bounce back up. That's just how coarse hair is. It tends to bounce up. So we just keep combing after every few strokes, making sure we are following that same shape we did with the ball line, if you can see there. And then right here, I'm pointing out this area seems a little too dark. So what we're gonna do is throw the 1 on, open again, and as you can see, some hair is falling off right there. So I'm glad I caught that. So I'm just kind of going over that, making sure that that's all blended into that too. And then now to get into the next part, we are going to do the lever open about a finger width. And as you can see, we are doing small light strokes, nothing too wide. His hair is, I would say, more of a finer type of hair. Not super thin, it's still pretty thick, but the sides, it's fairly fine. So we want to keep these guidelines a little smaller than usual. That way we can have a very nice contrasted mid fade without stretching it too much into those waves, right? So now, next thing we are going to do is the 1 open, and we are going to make another guideline, which is going to be the same width as the first guideline we just made. So as you guys can see, every few strokes I'm kind of coming back down, just making sure that I'm cutting all that hair in that section, because like I said, a lot of times in coarse hair, the hair likes to bounce or move away. So we just keep combing it down, making sure that section is clean and we can see it. And for our next step, we are going to be taking our 1.5 And all we're trying to do with this, guys, is blend this into the two. We are not trying to make another guideline. So I'm being extra soft with it. Just you know, a slight flick in there just to try to blend it into you know, that two guard. And as you guys can see, it's pretty much blending in. It's not gonna take it, you know, it's not gonna fully lighten anything up, but like I said, we're not trying to erase nothing. And then last, to kind of just keep things clean and make sure you know, we're kind of just going through our steps, we're gonna throw the two on. And you don't have to do this step. I just like to do it because it keeps me in a sequence and helps me not get out of that rhythm. So I just like to go over, you know, anything that, you know, didn't get cut or whatever. And now to take out this middle section, we are going to be using the 0.5 or the half guard, and we are going to be one notch from all the way open. And we are going to use our corners, and we are going to just glide over that line. So we're starting underneath and we're going right into that line. And just keep going at it. You know, it might take a little bit to come out, but it will come out. I've been using this method for a while, and it's been helping me keep my fades, you know, dark, but also, you know, gradient, but not, you know, super gradient to where it's real stretched. And the fade, you know, it just goes from super light, you know, all the way to dark. You know, this actually has more of a transition. So as you can see, all I'm doing is cutting the way that the hair is growing, still using my corners. I'm still in that third lever position, or one from all the way open. And I'm just being very light. Like I said, he's got very fine hair, so we're being very light, very small movements. And then now we are going to throw on the one, and we are going to stay in that one from all the way open position again. And again, we are going to be using our corners, and you can see how I'm tilting the clipper sideways. And you can see how his hair right here is growing down and to the left a little. So we're just following that hair growth pattern. And then you'll see me turn the clipper the other way because his hair is kind of growing back a little. So yeah, his hair kind of grows crazy on the sides. But I'm still in that, you know, still in that one from open, just using the corners, making sure we're not going too high, just staying in that same position, same area. And as you guys can see, this blend is coming together. You know, the lines are coming out. And if you have any trouble with this, it's probably because your blades might not be set close enough. Mine are zero gapped. You know, they're not, you know, crazy zero gap, but they're pretty close. Just makes it easier for me to take out lines, you know, any harsh lines. But yeah, just making sure you're combing the hair back in place. You know, really utilizing them corners, especially on, you know, hair like this. Like I said, with them wavers, you know, you wanna keep them waves, you know, as popping as much, you know, as possible, and you don't want to take away from any growth. And then now to take out that last section, guys, we are going to be going all the way closed and then open little by little. I know a lot of people like to go closed halfway open. For me, I just feel like that takes more detail work, and you can also kind of get lost a little. So I like to just go close, you know, then I open it a little more, then a little more, then you know, all the way till it's all the way open. And you can see here being very light. This is the most important part, in my opinion, of the fade, because this is what's going to make or break your fade. You know, if you take this too high, then you have to take that middle section higher. And then if you have to take the middle section higher, you have to take the section above that higher. So being very cautious with this is a lot of corner work. I know you see a lot of, you know, maybe barbers on YouTube that, you know, are just, you know, flicking that out. It's just kind of like light work to them. Guys, they've been doing it for years. Trust me, I've only been doing this for 3 years now, and, you know, I still struggle with it myself a little. So, you know, in my opinion, the best way to do it is, you know, go little by little. That way you ensure that you're not going too high or anything. And you also don't want it too compressed, you know. So you can see we're just using our corners in those areas that are kind of higher. And then now to get onto the lineup, guys, as you guys can see, my client has very light spots in both corners, but we are only going to be just showing this side. And so, you know, we start in the middle and we're going to make our way over to the side. And I'm not going to obviously line them, you know, up that high where his, you know, the light spots at, just because that's, you know, kind of ridiculous. So what I am going to be doing is kind of ghost lining it. And ghost lining just means, you know, lining up something that is kind of not there. But as you guys can see, it's popping out a little. And, you know, as I'm going down right here, so what I did in the beginning is I didn't come all the way down on the front of the lineup, just because I wanted to preserve anything that, you know, could help with the lineup, you know, could make it pop out a little more. I didn't want to, you know, take down that area and then it'd be too light. So I saved it for last. And as you guys can see, we're just following that straight across all the way to the recession. And then now to kind of go over it, make sure, you know, we got all the hair sticking out, and making sure that this is as crisp as possible. And then now we are going to be lining up the vertical bar, and, you know, it's not going to take, you know, too much effort. We're just kind of lining it up right where it is, you know, not really pushing it back or anything too much, and, you know, nothing we don't need to do. You know, we're just, as we tap, we pull away to help make sure that, you know, we got any hairs that are sticking out. And right now we're just kind of refining that corner. And as you guys can see, the fade right there, you can see how it goes from light, and it's just a little lighter, you know, darker than darker than darker. You know, that's the fade you want to see. As you can see, if I would have taken the fade too high, his lineup or his bar might not have popped that much. And also with keeping the fade darker, his front lineup is going to pop out more. And if you guys did end up enjoying this tutorial, make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know how it turned out. I think it turned out pretty clean. And yeah, peace out.